Hello YouTube, it's Bryant Tubbs coming at you with another video. In this video I just want to just do an update on the piece we call tipping point. I showed you guys I was making when welding up the lower portion, the upper portion, I welded the donut as we call it. And then off camera I had to finish the base and finish putting everything together. We just didn't have an opportunity to make a video of all of that. But I mean, I just want you guys to see the finished product. It's about 6 feet 7 inches tall, and it's the kind of the remake or scaled up version of this one. And then this one is a scaled up version of the one we have our tabletop piece that you guys have seen before. And it stands, I don't know, probably about close to 3 feet tall, somewhere in there. And this one is just over 4 feet, about 4. Let me see what it is. Get a ruler here, tape measure. This one, 4 feet 8.5 inches, and this one, 6 feet 7 inches. And then, like I said, the smaller version is probably about 2.5 feet tall, somewhere in there. So in the video before, and if you guys didn't see that video, you can go back and take a look at that one. I think it's called Creating Tipping Point, or the Making of Tipping Point 3, I think it's called, or Tipping Point 2, one or the other. If you go back to that, I explained how I get to this piece, but just a short version of it. A lady came to our booth at an art show and saw the small version of this sitting on a pedestal in our booth, and she asked if we could make one larger than that, somewhere around 4.5 feet, to go on her condo area, because they had height restrictions and whatnot in the condo area. And so when we built it for her, we installed it at her place, and it was next to a just tree next to her garage wall, and it looked good. The size looked good and everything. But then a short time later, they had the tree removed. We're talking just a couple weeks. And then once they removed the tree, the piece was standing there by itself. It didn't look as big. It looked a little bit smaller because the tree was gone. He had the side of his garage, just showing. And so it looked a little bit smaller. So that's when she came up with the idea of making one larger than that piece. And we told her that we would make her one larger, and she wanted it. She gave us kind of the dimensions. And she was saying she wanted it like 6 feet and whatever tall, and wanted this piece like 3 feet wide and all that stuff. She had really no concept of balance when it comes to art. And so, because this piece is probably almost 3/4 of the width of this piece. So this piece is almost 3/4, a little bit less than the length of this piece, the width of this. If I take this off and lay it here, it'll probably come somewhere in here. And this piece will probably come from here to somewhere in this position. So we want to keep the piece balanced. And if we make this over 3 feet long, it'll be as long as this piece, and it just wouldn't flow as tipping point. It would look more like one of our pieces, one of our slope pieces, where the bottom piece and the top piece are about the same overall dimensions, and one sits on this piece going up this way, it'll be just totally different. But with this point, tipping point, it's a totally different, I guess, concept, if you will, from the other pieces. So we came up with the final dimensions, and we came up with this piece. One of the things she wanted was like the ring on the big piece with a little bit more side wall than this one, so that when you see it from a distance, from the street, you'll be able to see the ring up there. This one, it wasn't quite as easy to see from a distance because it's not, I think it's like a 1/4 to 3/8 on this wall thickness. I mean, it's painted, you know, with the burnt orange and all that stuff, but from a distance, it's harder to see. So with this one, I went with a much larger ring. This is actually a donut. It has side walls, an inner tube in here, and this is a skin around the outside from stainless steel. It's not a pipe, but it's actually a skin around the outside of that. Around the outside of that. And so, as you can see, everything is much larger. This one is much wider depth-wise than this one. I mean, overall, everything is just bigger. I think the base on this one is a little bit taller, probably about 4 inches taller, because we're getting the height of the piece up. Whereas this base is a little bit shorter, but the piece overall is larger. And again, she has the bylaw restrictions in the condo, but she basically says she doesn't care. She's gonna get the piece of art that she wants, because there's other, you know, condo owners in the neighborhood that has, you know, art sculptures that are fairly large, and so they've gone past the bylaws, so she's gonna do the same thing. They live on a really nice condominiums. Around the condominiums is a really nice golf course, and they have water and all this stuff. So she just wants something nice. So we just obliged her by making this piece. We're going to deliver it to her probably one day next week, because I'm giving this ring time to cure. I didn't put it under, like, you know, the heat lamps are in the heating area, because it's just so, you know, so large, and I don't want to have to be moving it around too much. So what I'm going to do is take it after this and set it out in the sun and just let the sun just cure it. So I'll be delivering it to her probably in the next 4 or 5 days, something like that. But guys, I just want to give you just an update on tipping point 3. This is tipping point 2, and our tabletop piece is tipping point 1. So that's pretty much it. Like I said, it's all stainless steel. This donut is stainless steel, and we went to an automotive car place not far from here, and had them mix this color of burnt orange. So this is not a spray can. This is actual mix of paint, and then it's clear coated with an automotive clear coat, so it'll last a long time. Well, all right, guys. Again, this is Brian Tubbs, and I just want to, like I said, give you an update and let you see where we were. And on the next video, I'm going to start on the piece reaching. I have some of the lower portion cut out. Let me grab a piece of it. So this is a lower portion of reaching. Of course, there's be 2 sides. Then I got to fill the 2 sides in. And then on top of this, you have the stainless steel piece that goes through here, comes up. You have your large donut like this sitting here, and the other piece sits on top, kind of sandwiches the donut in, comes through here, sets up on the base. So I gotta get this started today. And then after that, I'll be making another piece that we have not made before. It's just gonna be some crazy piece that I'm gonna be making. Don't even have a finished product in mind, but I know where I'm going to start. All right, guys, again, this is Bryant Tubbs, and as usual, peace out.